Today we'll be looking at Rivaz of the Claw. Very cool card. Love the artwork for this. Excited to put it into my real life Niv Reborn deck. And he can cast all the dragons for you of all sorts of colours in that deck. But in this deck we've got the red-black dragons. And we're hopefully going to be able to cast some of the strongest ones in the format, like Terror of the Peaks. If you get this guy out, it's pretty hard to lose. You've also got Blade Wing the Risen, which can resurrect other dragons from the graveyard. Drakaseth, if this hits, you probably win the game as well. Ancient Brass Dragon lets you reanimate stuff. Lathlis gives you more dragons the more dragons you cast. So yeah, all the greatest dragons at that mana range. So Rivaz's special ability says you can cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard once per turn. But if it would die, exile it instead. So you want to find ways to put stuff into your graveyard. So Sarkhan Fireblood does two things here. He discards cards to let you draw, ramps into big dragons and creates more dragons. But if you put stuff into the graveyard, you can potentially cast it with Rivaz of the Claw later on. Stuff like Unexpected Windfall is really good as well. So anything like this, pitch a card and then use it again. It's pretty simplistic, but very fun if you like dragons. If you're a fan of casting Charizards, then this is probably the deck for you. Don't forget to leave me a like and a sub. Check out the Ko-fi donations page below and my Twitter. And tell me in the comments below what your favourite dragon type Pokemon was. Let's go. Pony goes first with new Jodah. Jodah 2, Jodah 2.0 or Golos 2.0. Or maybe even Prismatic Bridge, to be honest. It's a very good ability. Feign Death, let's put that to the bottom there. It's not going to be useful. We need removal spells, so Jodah can't cascade into really powerful stuff. Ooh, Enchantment Strategy. So if we eventually discard a card that costs, or sorry, a spell that costs 5 CMC, we can exile it to deal 5 damage to each non-dragon creature. Although saying that, we do have the Brittle Blast, so maybe we just save this for the Jodah, or we could just Grim 2 to here. We can get anything we want. I think Price of Fame is a good choice. 2 mana, kill the Jodah. Although we could have, saying that, we could have gone for a dragon, but we don't have the backup removal if Brittle Blast isn't enough, because 5 damage might not be enough. If they play more legends, then the Jodah will be stronger. Because all legends get +X equal to the number of legendary creatures they control. Kind of crazy, right? So here he is. Default 6/6. Come on, we need dragons. So, Power Word, Kill, and Price of Fame. So I think go for Mind Stone. And then we'll Price of Fame on the Jodah. Definitely get rid of him. We do have some dragons, but not the dragons I'm looking for. These aren't the dragons you're looking for. So they can just cast Jodah again, which is exactly what happened. I do feel like people probably play Jodah a bit too early. So do we just... I think we just straight up kill the Jodah again, right, before they get a chance to retaliate. Yeah, I think that's the play. And then we've got Rivaz with the Feign Death open, so if they do kill Rivaz, we can just resurrect him. And then following turn we can also cast the Thunderbreak Regent. Knowing their colours, oof, a Koma, yikes. That is pretty rough. Koma is going to be tough. Okay, so we can use, I think we'll use the Rivaz here to cast the Thunderbreak. Yeah, the Koma really changed the math here. So let's see what they do. I mean, not really much we can do against a Koma. We can deal 4 damage to each non-dragon, so we can kill everything but the Koma. No, I think we'll wait because we want to get rid of the new coil that they make in their turn here. So when it comes to our turn, we'll use the intervention, deal 4 damage to each thing, and then potentially, in response to them giving Koma indestructible, we can deal 5 more to it. We'll see how this plays out. Rashmi as well. Okay. So she's not the problem here. It's definitely Koma and a Lavinia as well. Sure. Goodness me. So yeah, it's a real shame about the indestructible here. Exile it. This doesn't remove indestructible though, the Brittle Blast. That is a shame. So we'll take 6. Not sure why they're holding priority here, but they might have some other tricks. Okay, 6 damage. Again, if it wasn't for this Koma, would be alright, to be honest. So they get a new 3/3. Sciences doesn't really do it. So yeah, the most we can do is just try the Draconic Intervention here. So it will kill the Rivaz, but let's see what the Koma does here. If they let them all die without giving Koma indestructible, we could actually be okay, but we'll see what they do. They might choose to just tap our stuff instead in a strange display. So if they target our dragons, they will take 3. So this is pretty sweet. We're actually dealing lightning bolt damage to them. So it taps the Thunder Break. Let's see what they do with these. Interesting. That's kind of weird because they didn't make Koma indestructible and now it just dies? Was that a mistake? Oh, they should have given it indestructible, shouldn't they? It's actually pretty wild what just happened there. Pretty wild indeed. Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked by that. So, swing in for 4. I think that may have just cost them the entire game. We'll get a land with the Sciences, we'll leave the black open for Feign Death. Blimey, I still can't believe I survived from that turn. So they can filter with the Rafine, but if they attack... Hoffrey, okay, so Hoffrey makes spirits. Have trample. They played the land. So whenever another non-token creature dies, exile it. If you do create a token that's a copy, except as a spirit. Okay. Orb of Dragonkind. Got lots of great cards here. 4 flying damage. Okay, let's go for the Orb of Dragonkind. We'll use this to actually search for a dragon on top 7. Something with haste would be pretty epic. Ebon Lich. Okay, so Ebon Lich comes in tapped. So for now, I think we'll just swing in with the 4/4 flying. They choose to block it, so it will die and come back as a spirit. Okay. That's interesting. So when this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Okay. So Jodah costs them 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're 1 mana off. Go for the Draco Lich. And yeah, it gets to our turn. So this is pretty good. And a Junji as well. We can't give it haste, so let's just swing in with these two first. They'll probably block the Ebon Death. But we can just recast that. Huh. That's very weird. So we'll go for Junji. I'm not really sure what they can do here. I suppose a board wipe would suffice. Anything that targets our dragons deals 3 back to them. Wow, that's pretty crazy how we actually got back into that game. Awesome. Okay, definitely think we've triggered the RNG gods into giving us some new opponents today, which is kind of cool. Cool, Vadroc, Apex of Thunder. Kind of a combo-y deck. They can cast a lot of stuff from the graveyard. And go off. There's a fair few builds of this. Could just be a mutate build, which is entirely possible. But given that the fact it says you can cast non-creature spells, it's not going to be much hope, because non-creature spells, spoiler alert, are the most evil spells in the game, pretty much. Illuminator Virtuoso, that's definitely a mouthful. Whenever it becomes target of a spell you control, connives. Interesting. Okay. So, double strike, mutate. It is a human, so they can't mutate. That's a bit odd. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. So they can't mutate onto this. I don't know why that's in the deck. Really. Swing, swing, swing. And then... don't think we need to Painful Bond yet. We'll have to discard down. 3, 6, 7. Yeah, okay, we'll do it anyway. Sure, give us a land, which is useful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we'll just lightning bolt it here, just to get out of the way. Because we'd have to discard a card anyway. I'd rather kill their creature than discard for no reason whatsoever. Extinction event. It's going to be nice. Hinata. Hinata the Patata. 4 mana. Yeah, less extinction event. There's a lot more creatures in the deck than I was actually accounting for, so let's get rid of all of those. Very interesting build, that's for sure. This is a non-dragon, so Glorybringer next turn could kill it if they cast it. Prismari Command, what are they looking for here? To put spells in the graveyard, perhaps? They can cast the command if they mutate something later on, but if they keep putting more humans in, that's not going to happen. Vesuvian Diplomacy and Prismari Command, okay. Well, for now, I think we'll just go for the Goldspan Dragon. We have such a nice array of dragons here to take our opponent out. What are we scared of? Mizzix's Mastery, I suppose? Kind of freaky. They do need, like, triple red for that, which they probably do have. Here's the Vadroc. Vadroc. Right, let's go for Glorybringer then. Do they have a counter spell here? Okay, let's swing in. Let's see if we can... so they have a removal spell here. They might be thinking of getting rid of the Glorybringer. So definitely going to exert him. Swing, we get an extra treasure. They're going to give it... they gave it hexproof. Okay. And they're going to trade. That is certainly interesting. Not too bothered by that, I don't think. We can just recast the Glorybringer later on with the Rivaz anyway. They're at 17, so we certainly have the pressure. Demonic Dragon can deal 5 damage unless they sacrifice something, which I don't think they are. Mizzix's Mastery, as if they got that. So they're going to get an extra turn. But they will lose. They will lose the game if they choose to cast that, because that's interesting. So let's kill the Vadroc in response here. Yeah, because of the wording of the cleave, They only don't lose if they pay 7, but they're paying... If you cast a spell from the graveyard without paying its mana cost, you cannot pay the alternate cost. You have to pay the cost that's written on the top right of the card. So, it's certainly interesting. As if they had the Mizzix's Mastery. An extra turn after this one. Okay, so they're going to have to do something pretty good. Or would they just lose the game, right? Okay. Molten Impact. And the Vadroc. I think they just lose the game. That was very strange. I don't know why they did that. Seems a bit weird to me. Oh, we're facing evil Ajani. Better watch out, or he will infect you. So let's start with the swamp, and then try and work our way into Signing Blood. But we do have a couple of ways to ramp anyway, so it's not looking too bad here. Maze Mind Tome is just a nice way to gain a bit of advantage. Gain a bit of life as well at the end of that. So I don't want to use it yet. I'd rather use it to just actually draw cards rather than scry. And because we don't have any big dragons in hand, I think it's safe to just go for the Lannery Storm here. And next turn we could go for the Chandra to pressure them, their life total, even ramp a bit more. What are they going to do on their turn? Go for Ajani. Okay. So that's one thing unique to all the completed Planeswalkers, is they have the Phyrexian mana cost.
Resist.
They reveal a Wandering Emperor so they can kill
rally to our glorious cause.
Lannery Storm next turn if we choose to attack. Okay, so question is, do we just go for the Ajani this turn? Yeah, I think we'll just kill the Ajani, right? And then we can use treasure here. And I think we'll draw a card with the Maze Mind Tome, because that's instant speed, so it's all good. So not sure if they were aware that we could have done that with the sacking treasures, but
you'll join us soon anyway.
And now I think it's a good time to... Yeah, let's go for the Chandra. Pressure them even more. And I'll tell you what, we could even go for the Minion of the Mighty as well. Damn. Pretty quick victory there. We go first against Gitrog Monster. Terrible starting hand, we're going to have to mull this. This hand is ever so slightly better. Got some ramp. Got an actual payoff with the Junji. If we can keep this guy alive, might be a win con, to be honest. Set this to black. So next time we could seize the spoils. I mean, we could even discard the Junji to the seize the spoils and then recast them with the Rivaz. Could be good. Maybe get the Rivaz out first. Let's get the Rivaz out first. I mean, not only does this let us ramp into dragons, but it lets us cast dragons from the graveyard, so... The fact they're cracking Evolving Worlds before the Gitrog hits the battlefield is a good sign, although saying that, they probably have ways to play lands from the graveyard, so we have to be careful. They could dedicate the whole turn to killing the Rivaz, because otherwise we could potentially cast a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drop. Not that they know. Or if they have a Ramina Excavator, that's really bad for us. That means every turn they'll be able to draw extra cards, which is terrifying. So if we go for Junji, let's tap this for the mana. That lets us cast Junji, and we can also Sign in Blood as well. So it's worthy investment, really. And if Junji dies, we can make them discard 2 cards. Oof, lightning bolt. Shame we don't have that here for the Reanimator. Yeah, I desperately want to kill this Reanimator. Even the Elvish Reclaimer, actually, because both of them let him sacrifice lands, essentially, and if they sacrifice lands, they're drawing cards. Beginning of the upkeep sacrifices the monster unless you sacrifice a land. You are playing an additional on each of your turns. Oh, that's pretty rough, because Reanimator Excavator lets him play Evolving Wilds twice a turn. So now we're going to have to deal with a 6/6. I think, okay, let's go for the Seize the Spoils, I think. Get rid of the, yeah, we can get rid of the Swamp. We could race them. But I think, to be honest, we need to bolt the Reanimator. That's way too scary. And then we can go for the Mind Stone here. And I think we swing it over the top, because we ain't blocking. So we've already played land, cool. So the Inferno of the Star Mounts would be a nice way of surprising them with 6 or more damage. So we don't have to show us, sorry, we don't have to show this card just yet. Druid class, okay. We can even create 2 surprise blockers here if we want to, but search for a card, put it into the hand. That's, oh, it's going to be Casualties of War or something, isn't it? It always is. It always is with these kind of decks. Yeah, let's make a surprise blocker or 2. This does stop the damage adding up, so this buys us an extra turn basically. Okay, so if we go for 2, 6, yeah, so we can go for Signet and the Inferno. And we can alpha with everything apart from that. So there are 8. Oh, they're drawing so many cards though. So in order for them to stay alive, they're going to have to kill the Inferno, because this is lethal next turn. However, if they kill the Inferno, we can recast it with the Rivaz. So they're in a lot of trouble here. Crux of Fate. Just killing the dragons. Okay, so what do we have to resurrect? From a graveyard. Anything in their graveyard? Reanimator. I mean, I guess we can go for their Reanimator. Can't we? Because then we can play lands from our graveyard. Not the end of the world. We can already cast the Inferno with the Rivaz anyway, so is that enough? Do we still win? Especially because we get to play the Mountain as well. This is an extra damage essentially because of the fire breathing on the Inferno. Yeah, cheeky. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Don't forget to check out more of my videos, and also my Ko-fi donations page. You can donate as little or as much as you want.